AskReddit by Danny0873. What are some really dangerous things most people don't realize are dangerous? Combining different cleaning products can lead to toxic gas in the room. I heard of a cleaning lady that mixed bleach and Fabuloso. It created a homemade mustard gas. https://www.dailylit.com/irl/target-worker-fire-toxic-gas/ Not sleeping. That shit will ruin your mental state and just ruin your overall functioning body. By far the worst side effect from meth abuse. A well-rested, nourished, hydrated meth head can tweak for decades until it destroys your heart, brain, and family. Driving fast in parking lots. Right? Where are you going that you need to speed through the parking lot? Or residential neighborhoods? Driving while not getting enough sleep. Just driving. Visiting the wrong doctor. The general public will never know what makes a good doctor and what makes a bad one. The standard of care you get from one hospital to the next can be life-changing. My dad finally switched away from his 85-year-old doctor that refuses to retire. New doctor was flawed at how mismanaged my father's medication was, and my dad went from exhausted and needing naps every few hours to the best health he's been in 20 years with a normal sleep schedule. At the beach, riptide. If you don't spot them and don't know how to get out of one, it can be terrifying and deadly. The advice of the RNLI is if you are caught in a riptide, do not try and swim against it as you will exhaust yourself. Stay calm and float to assess the situation. If the water is too deep to stand and you can't swim, swim across the direction of the current, parallel to the shore, until you are free. Use any breaking waves to help you get back to the beach. If you need to catch your breath first, relax and float for around 60-90 seconds. Some rip currents recirculate rather than flow out to sea and may bring you closer to shore. Moving water. It can only take 6 inches of fast flowing water to knock you over, and double that can float a car. Only takes an inch or so of sneaker wave to float a multi-ton log on the beach, enough to where it'll spin and crush you underneath. This is a favorite mode of death among tourists to the beaches of Oregon and Washington. Stay off the drift logs, people. Water currents and waterfalls are two that kill people all the time. Even a gentle looking river can be very deceptive if there's enough water moving along people, cars, etc. Rip currents at the beach. Flash floods. Water seems gentle, but it gives zero effort CKS about anything in its path. The top of waterfalls are super deceptive with a combination of powerful current and slippery rocks that look like a beautiful place to grab a picture, but they can kill you in an instant. Scariest example of a gentle looking stream that is one of the most dangerous in the world is the Strid in England. Falling, knocking people over, hit your head at just the right angle and spot, and boom, dead. In my youth I smoked a lot of weed and drank a lot of booze and skateboarded all the time. Looking back on it, I'm always shocked that I never cracked my head in just the right way to do real damage. Driving while distracted. Just simply driving. Once we start calling sunburn radiation burns, people will start taking it seriously. One summer I was roofing and put sunscreen everywhere, but my nose, I ended up getting 2nd-degree burns and now have small hole scars on my nose. Escalators. The torque produced to lift dozens of people and their luggage will not stop for your limbs. Watch your kids. Carry your pets. Don't be distracted. There are emergency stop buttons at the top and bottom. If you see a problem such as a person falling or loose metal or glass, use the button. Better delayed than traumatized, maimed, or dead. Several years ago, I saw a news segment about a young child whose hoodie laces got caught in the escalator. Someone hit the emergency stop button, but the laces were still pulled so tight that he could not breathe. Fortunately, someone had a knife and was able to cut the laces. He was saved fast enough that there was no permanent damage. I had stopped carrying my utility knife prior to seeing that segment. Now I always make sure I have one on me. Dull kitchen knives. Dull knives in general. To make them cut, you have to use too much force, increasing the risk of a sudden slip and slice. Benzos and alcohol. Went from hey, this feels great to waking up back home with one vague memory of my parents, in their 70s, with me in an ER. I had apparently attempted to walk to get more booze, and fell off a 6-inch step in front of my own apartments and hit my head. Cheaping out on tires for your vehicle. Man, the first time I bought a full set of Michelin tires I was like, WTF have I been missing? The difference between those and whatever I could afford at Walmart or wherever was insane. Have only bought those ever since. Tooth infections. I knew a guy who went septic and had a stroke from a tooth infection that he didn't realize was that bad. He was busy at work life and kept meaning to go to the dentist. He was in his late 20s, early 30s. Super nice guy. Ladders. I came to say this. Falls of all kinds can be deadly, but even a few extra feet off the ground significantly increases the force you'll hit with. Even a small 2 or 3 foot ladder deserves attention. Hiring the cheapest electrician to change the basement fuse box. Expensive electrician here. I agree. People not knowing that inflammable means really extremely fucking flammable and not flammable. Inflammable means flammable? What a country. There's a newish trend among woodworkers called fractal burning or Lichtenberg burning, where you use electricity to create this cool lightning-like burns across wood. Problem is, it's extremely dangerous. There has already been at least one person who died trying to do it, probably more, but I only remember hearing of one specifically. There's a ton of videos of everyday people doing this, but if you slip up just slightly, you're gonna electrocute yourself. https://yahoo.be/wsdkcxq0I?mark SIH_4NU5VXWWEOU. Amazing video by Anne Reardon detailing what's so deadly about this. TLDR, people use homemade devices, such as microwave transformers and car batteries to do this. Garage door springs. I know a professional garage door mechanic who, even after many years of building a successful career in the business, lost a finger to a spring. Garage doors don't mess around. Antifreeze. It's way more poisonous than you probably think it is, and it has a sweet taste that attracts cats and children. If your cat laps up a teaspoonful, they're pretty much already dead. It's been embittered for a long time. Older stuff kicking around in your garage may still be sweet. I answered this before. A BBL Brazilian butt lift is one of the most dangerous cosmetic surgeries you can get. Especially if you travel to a third world country to save $ on it. So many infections. Saw one lady get septic and die from it. Holding your breath to see how far you can swim underwater, especially if you hyperventilate first. Your body uses your CO2 level, not your blood oxygen level, to tell you when to breathe, and if it drops to low you pass out and die. https://en.m.wikipedia.org/wiki/shallow-water_blackout. Unsecured cutting boards. Put a dishcloth under it or something. Make sure it doesn't slip. Those little grippy pads that can help open jars or protect your countertop from hot pans are great for this.